Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. So do you find yourself maybe in a workout kind of rut and maybe your exercises are getting a little bit stale and you want to maybe throw in something new, or perhaps it's leg day and you're like, shit, I won't be able to make it to the gym today, but I have some dumbbells at home, so let me just pump out a quick workout. So I went through Caroline Girvan's EPIC 2 program and pulled out 6 videos that I truly love, and each one of these focuses on the major muscle groups. I'll explain more. Let's get started. So I broke the exercises into upper body and lower body with one full body thrown in as well. These exercises are your chest and triceps, back and biceps, your shoulders, your legs and kind of calves. I also did like a glute specific / hamstring, and then also a full body workout. So first up, we have chest and tricep. This was 45 minutes long. It had 40 seconds of work and 20-second rest. The weights that I used was 15 pounds for any of the chest pressing exercises. And then when it switched over to kind of the tricep isolation work, I used about 10 pounds. So first up, we had the chest press, and I believe you had to do about 3 rounds of these. I really like doing them on the floor. This way you have the floor as like a safety net, basically, so your elbows don't go down too far. And then we move right into push-ups. These are just your standard push-ups. I always try to do my best on push-ups, do as many as I can off my knees, maybe about 5. And then unfortunately, that kicks in. Then I switched a little bit light to the lighter weight, since we're kind of doing a bit more of a wider kind of like neutral grip chest press. Pretty much stayed, if I could, to the lighter weights. And then obviously, as you can see Caroline taking breaks, it's a lot on your arms and a lot on your chest. So you try to go down as deep as you can, but my goodness, after doing a few rounds of that, definitely felt it. Even with the single arm chest press, again, I was using my 15 pounds, but after a while, from doing all the previous exercises, these weights definitely felt heavy. All right, so up next was back and bis. This one was about 43 minutes long. It was broken into 2. So back was 45 seconds of work with a 15-second rest, and then biceps were 40 seconds of work with 20-second rest. For me, for any of the row movements, I was using about 20 pounds, and then any of the biceps, I was using probably about 12. Also needed would be a chair or a bench. I used a bench because I like to put my knee up when I do my rows, but some people like to just put their hand on the back of a chair, and that's fine too. And then she also did throw in some renegade rows, so it was nice to bring in like a yoga block or a book, because the renegade rows were only single arm. It wasn't like alternating. So it was actually really nice to have my hand up on a book to kind of give that hand some relief instead of like clenching onto that weight and when you're pulling back all the time. But the trick is definitely, if you have a book for the renegades, I highly suggest that. So here we are with our first set of back exercises. Here's the dumbbell row. Again, like I said, I like to use a bench because I like to rest my knee up there, but just make sure you're taking everything very slow and controlled, and you're kind of really counting almost to like 1 or 2 seconds on that way down on the eccentric part of it. And then this was the dead stop row, and you had to like let the weight drop as soon as you hear the beep. So you're kind of holding on to it for a good 10 seconds, and I'm telling you, my arm was on fire. And then here's renegade rows. Again, it's really good to use that yoga block or a book. I was using a book here, and you can see how far apart her legs are spread, because you really do need to have that stability when you're doing renegade rows. And then I kind of like that she threw in some body weight exercises just to give your muscles a little bit of a break before you jumped into the bicep portion of the workout. So here are some Supermans, nice and tight. And here's your bicep portion. So these are hammer curls right here. We always gotta make sure that we keep our elbows nice and close to our body. And I think I was probably only doing 12 pounds on this. Again, very hard. Same thing with the wide curls, probably only 12 pounds. And if you can try to keep a little bit of a rep count, I think that's beneficial as well. So the last video was shoulders. It was 45 minutes long. It was broken into 40 seconds of work with 20-second rest. She also threw in a complex, which appeared about 3 times, and that was 2.5 minutes long as well. The weights that I used was 15 pounds, except for the complex. I was using 10-pound weights for that, because 2.5 minutes at 15 pounds is a lot of weight for me. So I definitely dropped down to 10 pounds. So I swear to you, shoulders and my triceps are like some of the weakest part on my body. So that's why I think why I'm training them all the time. So here's shoulder raises. Again, I was using about 10 pounds for these, trying to keep your knees soft, your core extremely tight, and just really lifting as best as you can. With all the presses, here's an Arnold press. I can do about 15 pounds on this, but again, it gets super tiring because your shoulders just, I swear to God, they weaken so quick. So here she is with alternating presses. It was nice to have that little 1 second break, so I was able to stick with my 15 pounds. Try to bring your shoulders, keep that in alignment, close to your ears is always a good key point. Here's that complex I was talking about. So I was only doing 10 pounds on here, even though I could do 15 on the presses. It's the fact that the lateral raises get me all the time. So I had to drop down to 10. So essentially you're doing 10 total lateral raises and then your partials and then your 5 presses. So the rows to the frontal raise really did suck a lot for me. Again, 10 pounds on here. I was taking a lot of breaks, just really trying to like squeeze out that front raise. And then when it came to the flies, again, it was 10 pounds, making sure that your back, as you can see, Caroline's is in that neutral position, very nice and straight, elongated. Feet should be shoulder width apart or more, and then don't twist at your core. And then when it came to the pike push-ups, I really did try to do as many as I can. And then I would go on to my bench and kind of finish them a little bit that way. And so for our last video for lower body was legs. Remember, it focused on the quads and the calves. That one was about 52 minutes long. It was a superset. So you had 45 seconds of work and then 30 seconds of work and then a 30-second rest. So the first up was the sumo squats with the dumbbell. She was using about a good 50 pounds. I think I was using my kettlebell at this point because sometimes it's nice just to use a kettlebell just for the convenience of a handle. So just make sure that you're always pushing out with your knees and coming up nice and slow and controlled. Your back is always in good alignment as well. And she also threw in some pulses, so it did definitely make it very challenging. Here are some RDL pulses, so make sure you're standing up when you need to kind of give your lower back a little bit of a break. I think I was doing like maybe 5 or 6 little pulses, and then I would come back up, stand up nice and straight, and then go back down again to do some more. And this was after the fact that you did RDLs to begin with. So the hip thrusts were next, and it's always nice to have a little towel or something to put across your hips for sure. I have this little pad that I used. Now in true Caroline fashion, she likes to make you do up and down slow motion, and then all of a sudden she'll switch it and be like, oh yeah, we're gonna do some holds. No break for you guys, we're gonna hold now. So here I am, make sure your knees are always spread out. And we're holding for like 20 seconds. And then she's like, just kidding, we're still not done. And then she'll go back into pulses again. And at this time, I'm yelling at the screen saying, bitch, what are you doing to me? So it was actually really nice that she threw in some body weight. So this is just up and down, just making sure that you're squeezing at the top of the movement. And it really made your glutes on fire. And then of course, she had to throw in some more glute band stuff, making sure that you're keeping your knees out, as she's saying, and you're just kind of doing that nice pulse. I always like to be in the pray position as well because I'm like, oh, Jesus, please help me. And again, of course, you're thinking, all right, cool, we're counting down, we're getting down to 1. And she's like, oh yeah, we're gonna go full range now. So yep, my butt was on fire, couldn't walk for days. Yep, really good workout. So our last video is legs. And remember, it's for the quads and the hamstrings. It was about 52 minutes long and it was a superset. So meaning you did 2 exercises back to back. So it was 45 seconds, and then you got a 30-second rest, which I know you're gonna need. So in this workout, it's actually really good to have a bench or a chair because she does incorporate Bulgarian split squats. If you don't like Bulgarian split squats, because I mean, who really does? You can also do elevated lunges. That's kind of going to give you the same idea of just focusing on your quads. And for this workout, because it was so heavily focused on your quads, mainly like all sorts of lunges, I really only used 12 pounds because I was exhausted. I'm telling you right now, I was so exhausted with this workout because legs are really pumping out a lot of energy. And 12 pounds for me was just perfect, especially with the split squats. I mean, like I said, they're not easy. And if you're just constantly doing lunges and then back to back, 45 seconds, yeah, girl, my legs were dead. So we're starting off with some elevated lunges. As you can see, the reason why I only chose 12 pounds for the entire workout, because there's a lot of lunge exercises in here. I swear this is one of Carolyn's favorite type of workouts, especially for your legs, is lunges. So again, it was back-to-back exercises. So you had 45 seconds of weighted and then 45 seconds of unweighted. And I'm telling you right now, when you got that 30-second rest, you we're so happy about it. Same thing when it came to the Bulgarian split squats. For some reason, I always like to put my back leg flat on the bench or the chair, but you can, however comfortable for you. And then of course you drop the weight down, and then now your body weight only, same leg, up and down, and you're doing this for a few rounds too. It wasn't like, okay, we get to move on to something else. No, it was like you gotta do it again, twice. It was a lot. Good for us though, I'm telling you right now, really worked my calves and my booty too. So this was kind of cool because it was a dead stop lunge and it was elevated, as you can see. Now all the elevations, you don't need to do any of them elevated, but it always adds that intensity to the workout. So that's why she throws it in there. But again, you do whatever you can, slow and controlled. So this was one of the calf exercises. This was 2.5 minutes of weighted calf exercises. And I'm telling you right now, my calves were on fire. But then Carolyn decided, you know what? Let's just go the extra mile and do 7 minutes non-weighted calf exercises. I'm telling you right now, I still do this exercise. I have it time-stamped every week for the last month, and I still can't get through this workout or this part of the exercise without stopping. There's just no way. My calves were on fire for like days. So our last video was full body and it was 1 hour long. It was 40 seconds of work and 20-second rest. However, she did throw in a complex. She loves her complexes, I swear to you. It showed up about 4 times in this workout, and each time it was 2 minutes and 40 seconds long. This workout definitely hit all your muscle groups, but I want to say that she favored the legs, kind of as usual. So the weights I was using were the 15 pounds, and I also used 12 pounds as well. Most of the exercises were performed about 3 times, unless it was single body work. So like say lunge on one side, then you gotta do the other side. So then it happened to be 4. And so everything was pretty much grouped nicely together. So you got a really good group of upper body for a little bit, and then she did lower body for a little bit, then back to upper and lower. So it was actually a really good combination of all of it. So especially for 1 hour, you're definitely gonna be sweating like crazy. So she's starting off with some bent over rows. As you can see, always try to keep your elbow close to your body, your spine neutral. Again, I was using the bench on here. I find it just really helps with the weight distribution. And for most of the workout, I was trying to use my heavier pounds at 15, but a lot of these like elevated lunges and some of the complexes, I did drop down to the 12 pounds. As you can see, Carolyn loves elevated lunges. She just likes to put that extra like fire on your legs. I swear I always cry during these things and just wish the timer would go a lot faster. And then when it switched over to something that I'm like, okay, I know I can do 15 pounds or more on this, then that's what I did. So I was constantly kind of switching out the weight just to suit better for me for the workout. And then the complexes was 2 minutes and 40 seconds long. And I would do the 12 pounds on here because especially when you got to this squat and press, that is a lot of energy to squat down and then to push all the way up. It doesn't seem like much, but it really is, especially when you're doing it for 2 minutes and 40 seconds on the same side. It wasn't like you're alternating back and forth. So that was really draining for my energy. And then she threw in obviously some upper body and lower body. So here's the chest press. And like I said before, I use a more modest weight. So I would drop down to the 15 pounds on here because it is 1 hour and it's full body. And regardless of the fact that I knew what exercises were coming up, I still didn't want to put too much weight because I want to be able to just alternate between two sets of weights and not really have to do a whole lot. So again, with the Arnold press, again, you know, nice tight core, your knees are going to be nice and soft. Same thing with the hammer curls, knees are nice and soft, really tight core, and just kind of bust out these movements. But I'm telling you right now, for 1 hour, you're putting in a lot of work and you're burning a lot of calories, and it's a great thing. So I'm going to link all of the 6 videos in my description box below for you, as well as add this to my playlist of review videos. I really do hope that you check out Caroline. She's such an amazing trainer. I did a review on the EPIC 1 and 2 program. You can also check that out as well. A lot of information with that. And again, if you're looking just for 10 weeks of free workouts, she is like beyond the best. Also, comment below if you're enjoying these kind of style of videos. I plan on doing a lot more like review of different trainers. I think it's actually a lot of fun and kind of mixes up my workouts too. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do. It really does help me out. As always, have a great rest of your week. Make sure to thumbs up the video, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys, and thanks for watching.